Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something that I've never actually done before. I'm going to be painting the cover of this sketchbook and hopefully painting it with something cute that I like. I'm about halfway through this sketchbook. Technically it's an art journal, but I'm using it as a sketchbook. It has like a craft paper cover, it's kind of cardboardy, really thick and really heavy, so it should be easy to paint. On the back, I've actually swatched out all of my acrylic paints because I thought this would be a good test to see which colors were really opaque and which ones were more transparent. So that's what I use as reference for my acrylics. Yeah, I don't want to call this my like shitty sketchbook or my dumping ground sketchbook, but it is really where I just put everything. This is where I doodle. This is where I kind of break my art block. I put everything in this sketchbook. I started it, I think, around the time I got it. I got it for Christmas from my parents-in-law in 2018. So I started this sketchbook quite a while ago. And as you can see, I mainly doodle in colored pencil, and there's lots of cute fruits and plants and things like that. And that was actually the page that I planned the Inktober series on. And that little sketch that you just saw in the top left corner of that page is the one I'm going to be putting on the front cover. So it's some cute little oranges with happy little faces on some sky. So my goal for this was to start with gouache because I know that gouache works well, but you can see the gouache is not working that well. And so I just kept trying and yeah, it did not work out. So I was going to switch to acrylics because the gouache was just soaking entirely into the paper and I could not get any sort of color to show up. You know, you can see just some bare pale blue, but that's nothing in comparison to how bright this acrylic looks. That looks so much better. So I've switched my whole vision over to acrylic. The reason I wanted to start in gouache was because I know that colored pencils work really well over gouache, and I'm really comfortable using gouache. Acrylic is not something I've used in quite a long time, as you can see by this dusty, gross palette that I'm using. But I'm pretty confident using, you know, a lot of mediums, so I thought I'll just give it a go. And I have pretty good acrylics. They are the Amsterdam acrylic brand that's made by Royal Talens. It's a Dutch company. They also make the gouache I use for the most part. Yeah, so now I'm getting started with sketching. Got started matching, making sure that I was choosing the right colors, which was, you know, at this point I was realizing that it was actually not a great idea that I had the reference colors on the back of the sketchbook, and the sketch I was using was also inside the sketchbook. So I had to keep opening the sketchbook and flipping it over to reference the sketch and also the colors. Even though both were quite simple, I did flip this open and flip it over probably about 10 times. I started with the oranges because I thought if I need to do a couple of layers of orange, I might as well start here. They need to be the most prominent. So I started there, and along with adding some orange and some peach colors, I also added in a little bit of red and a little bit of white. I am super happy with the sketchbook, and I am absolutely going to find this exact same sketchbook as soon as I fill this one. This is the only sketchbook I've ever had that just felt like the perfect sketchbook. I'm not sure how to describe it. Of course, it doesn't take watercolor or any sort of wet medium because it's pretty thin paper. I'm not exactly sure how heavy the paper actually is, but I would guess that it's somewhere around the 120 to 180 grams per square meter mark. For watercolor paper, I always use 300 grams per square meter. But for craft paper and for sketch paper, this is a perfect weight. So I use this sketchbook all of the time, and pretty much every sketch that I do lives in this sketchbook. I'm that kind of person who tends to draw directly onto watercolor paper even when I don't have a sketch or a sort of concept. So I'm not filling the sketchbook too fast. As I mentioned, I started this around December 2018, so it's been a couple of years already. Drawing in the little leaves here. This kind of fruit sky leaf combo is probably one of my favorite subjects to paint. If you've been following me on Instagram, especially back to Inktober this past year, you'll definitely know that this is something that I love to paint. I don't know what it is about adding little cute faces onto fruit and inanimate objects. I just like to add personality to things, and I like to make things look cute. I actually gave my art the little tagline of cute things from other dimensions, so I guess this is from a dimension where oranges have cute little faces. Now for the moment I love, which is adding the little white highlights. Here I am just getting the perfect little dollop of white on the edge of my bristles to start adding in these little star speckles. Pretty much every background I do has either leaves or little stars. And this one has both. And faces. Yeah, this is kind of like Terra art in one piece. This is really the first moment where I'm starting to realize how bad the pencils are going over top of the acrylic. It's like the acrylic gives this waxy, shiny surface, and the pencils don't really go over it that well. In some cases where the color is a lot darker than the color I'm putting it onto, so on that light green leaf, it doesn't look so bad. But when I was trying to add a dark red for the face, it just wasn't going down at all. So I decided to just say, screw it, I'll just do this part in acrylic as well. So I drew the little face on with some red paint. I've seen a couple of other people paint the cover of their sketchbook on Instagram and on YouTube, and I just thought this was such a cute idea, and I couldn't resist having an adorable little sketchbook piece on the cover of my sketchbook that really encapsulated all kind of Terra art tropes, I guess. I'm doing a little bit of connecting, so it kind of looks like constellations. There's the most satisfying moment in this video is peeling the tape off of this sketchbook. There is something so different about peeling tape and tape peels on craft paper, on like a brown cardboardy type paper. It just looks so good. Like how, oh, this should be illegal. This looks too good. Look at that one. Wow. Beautiful. I appreciate this so much. These nice clean edges and this adorable piece of artwork that is colorful and cute and, you know, even better references the colors than the little palette that I made on the back. I'm just so happy with this. And I'm glad I did this before I finished the sketchbook, before I got any further in it. Yeah, it's so cute. Look at that little guy. Oh, he's adorable. Here's some cute photos I took. I'm very happy. My sketchbook sits next to me every day, and I'm always happy to see it. So I would advise you to give this a try. If you haven't painted the cover of your sketchbook before, I would say this is pretty successful. You should just go for it. Let me know if you like this video. If you do like this video, feel free to subscribe. I do videos like this pretty often, and I make studio vlogs monthly. The next studio vlog will have more to do with sculpting, I think, as well as some printmaking and art hauling. So if you want to see that one, please subscribe. And if you're on Instagram, feel free to follow me there. Thanks for watching. I wish you happy sketchbooking, and oh boy, do I wish you for nice, clean tape edges like this, because everyone needs to have this in their life. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.